all the juice straight from the maker booth. Welcome to the Booth Juice. Welcome back to another episode of the Booth Juice. If you are watching on YouTube, Instagram or Facebook, you will notice that we have moved out of the booth for today's episode, thanks to the good old reign of Narelle. But I am joined by two very special people who I am very grateful to call my pals. They are a powerhouse bestie team who are changing the game in fitness. Please welcome Indi and Bethan from Basement. Well, thank you so much for letting me record in your gorgeous gym today.
Thank you for coming.
For those who don't know the basement world, can you give them a bit of an idea of what goes on around here?
So we have basically a fitness trilogy. We've got two Pilates studios, and then we have a gym. Sorry, we've got more of a four thing going on. But we've also got a recovery room. So basically, we opened a Pilates studio
4 years ago now.
4 years ago. Started off something a little small in a little shed in town. And then last year we expanded our Port Douglas location out to this gym where we built our Pilates studio and extended onto the gym. And in the midst of all that, we also opened another studio in Cairns.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how, let's go right back. How did you two first meet?
Yeah.
When did the idea of, hey, let's run a business together, or hey, let's move to Port Douglas?
Yeah.
Also?
So we met in school. Indy was a boarder and I was a day student back down in Adelaide. We weren't really that close in school, I would say. Like,
we shared a friend.
We shared a mutual friend, yeah. It was the culture in the school that we went to, that the boarders and the day students were very separate.
They were scrags.
Yeah.
Boarders,
Right, bit of a rivalry.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Boarders looked down on day students. They were scrags.
Right.
But I sort of went against the grain
Yeah.
in school. I actually got...
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I got an award once that was which boarder is most likely to become a scrag.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's me. But yeah, we weren't really that close in school. We
It was
shared,
kind of after school that we
started doing
connected.
Pilates together.
Literally, we connected over, like, because we like to do the same things.
Yeah.
If we would like to describe our perfect date, they would be the exact same.
Yeah. Fitness,
Wow.
looking after ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, our girlfriend Shay, Bethan was best friends with Shay growing up, and then I met Shay before I moved schools, but then through her we sort of, became mutual friends, and then after school, just started doing fitness stuff together, and then we decided to do our Pilates course together, like become instructors, and that's where we became super close. We started noticing the thread that all the Pilates studios looked the same, all the vibes were the same, and in our opinion that just wasn't extremely welcoming to the girls who were more like me, who weren't, the aesthetic of what a normal person would be like. So that's when Bethan and I decided that was our gap, that we were going to create a studio and a space that felt completely different to every other studio you'd go into, and that's sort of how Basement was created.
Yeah, I feel like there's it's a little bit changed now, but back when we were doing our course, I felt like Pilates studios, like if you were to make like a meme about a Pilates studio, it would be a bitchy instructor that doesn't talk. Everyone walks in, they're judging everyone. It was very like
Clinical,
like very bitchy, very
everything looked the same. It was all white and like bright lights. That's why, as in like bright natural light. That's why when you walk into Basement, and that's where also the name came from, was more of a grungy, like deep sort of below the normal surface. That's where Basement was, sort of the idea of that came along. But if you were to walk into any studio 6 years ago, it would be all white interior, beautiful white curtains, and not that that's, it's gorgeous, and we also love going to studios like that, but we were like, no, we're going to create a space that makes people feel a little less seen. You can sit in front of your own single mirror. It's a darker room. You feel like people can't see you as much, so therefore people felt more comfortable. And it was funny that was our idea, and we've we've really nailed it perfectly. In our studio, you walk in and you have one reformer to one mirror. So it's you looking at only yourself. You don't have to worry about a shared mirror that, oh, she's looking at me, or, you know, and every girl thinks it, every girl feels it. So that was something that really played in our minds when we were designing and creating the idea of Basement.
Yeah.
I think we've really held to that well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then as far as landing on Port Douglas, our best friend Hannah, she is a Broken Hill girl. That's where I'm from. She moved to Port Douglas 7 years ago, and we used to come up on holiday a lot to visit her. And
I think it was longer than that.
It's longer than that, yeah.
Because I used to work with her
Rattle.
at the pub.
Yeah. Hannah will love this plug, by the way. So yeah, Hannah moved up here, and it's like I met you before we even moved here. We were sort of running all in the same circle. God, that was fun. Yeah. Before life was serious.
It was great. Good time.
Yeah, and I remember distinctly the holiday that I left here visiting her, and I went back to Adelaide. It was COVID times. I had just dropped out of university, and I was feeling so lost, and I didn't have a job. I was so depressed, like genuinely so depressed. And I remember calling my mum one day, and I was like, I wish I lived up there. And my mum said, no offense, but what else are you doing with your life? Like, you're not actually doing anything. If you want to go, go.
What's stopping you?
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, so true.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a little bit different for Bethan's case. She stayed out her uni course. She did
while Indy was doing all this, our plan was, I think, to move, I can't remember what year it was, 2021. 2022.
The year after COVID, literally just the year after COVID stopped.
Yeah, so
2022, I think.
2022 was the year that we said, okay, we're going to move, we're going to try something else. And I don't even know if, I feel like us as people aren't big planners. We kind of just like,
wing things.
Everything we spoke about was like hypotheticals, you know, this would be great, this would be great. And then our plan was to move to Port Douglas, and just like, whether it be that
not even. Remember, we were kind of like, wherever we land, we land.
Yeah, it was like, we'll have, because we had this dream of opening our own Pilates studio, and we were like, whether we go and spend some time somewhere else and then come back to Adelaide and settle our roots and lock in, or we go somewhere else and it just finds us that we'll stay there. And then I remember one day, I was like almost done with my uni. I'd spent like 5 years at uni just studying the wrong things, bouncing between degrees. And I was like finally coming to the end of my degree. I was like, I really want to see this out, just so that there's like hundreds of thousands of
well.
And what did you study in the end?
In the end, I studied a Bachelor of Health Sciences, and I mastered in occupational therapy. I can't even remember.
Congratulations.
That's how irrelevant it is.
Yeah. Seriously.
But I think this also comes to like show, and I think it's important as well for like, I think these days it's a little bit more common, but like when we were all of us at the same age, I do believe that when we were of the age when you finished school, you went to university.
Yes.
And that was
even
the
if
thing.
you didn't know what to do.
You just went.
Yeah, I just studied something.
And like Bethan, like she said, she spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on degrees, and like, you know, it ended up being yours also correlated with what we do now.
Yeah.
But like it was so common that, you felt like you had to. It's like what I mentioned before about how I felt like I had failed, and I remember letting mum know that I was dropping out of uni, and I felt so embarrassed because everyone went to uni, and it was like, if you dropped out of uni, you were dumb. If you didn't go to uni, you were dumb. And obviously my ADHD, I literally hated it. I hated studying. I hated the go thing. But I think it just goes to show, like, you know, Bethan with all of her degrees, and then me that dropped out. But then look where we are now.
There are so many more like options,
avenues.
And I feel like now, like, this next generation, even like the girls now who are coming to our studio and are like, oh, maybe I want to be a Pilates instructor. And it's like, you don't have to all go down one path. You don't have to do a certificate or a degree. You can find something that you love and turn it into a career.
Absolutely.
Especially, there's so many options now, especially like with social media.
I
was watching this thing the other day that was saying we're finally living in a generation that people are making more from their phone than people who are like surgeons, lawyers, you know, and it's just like, if you were to have, I know we're not even that old, but if you were to have told us, like all of us, you know, 7 years that was the case, you'd be like, fuck off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
It's just so insane.
I was the same. My parents were like, when uni kind of went a bit pear-shaped in COVID, and I had the idea of maker, they were like, well, you're going to learn a hell of a lot more
That's
doing
right.
that than you are doing anything
100%.
else. So.
And like, it's the things that you're not taught. Like, you would be the same, and even Donna and Jeff would be the same, right? Like, obviously, Jeff's got his, what's it called? Trade.
Whatever
Jeff's got his
doing.
trade. But like, my mum is the same as your mum. Like, I would consider my mum to be such a successful woman, businesswoman. She dropped out of school, and oh my God, this sounds like I'm promoting not education. If you're in school and you're in uni, good on you. But I'm saying for the flip side of it.
Yes.
My mum dropped out of school in like year 9.
Yeah.
And went and did a hairdressing apprenticeship.
And
I remember that's
super successful.
Yeah, and I remember that day I called her and said I was dropping out, and I was so upset. And she was like, "Well, do you think I'm successful?" It's like, "Of course." And she said, "Well, I didn't go to uni. I didn't even really go to school."
Exactly.
You know. Anyway, this has really gone this way.
No,
but
that's okay.
To reverse back to when we first were opening the studio, funnily enough, and I was actually really excited to tell this story on the podcast. When I first moved to Port Douglas, I really wanted to keep working either as a fitness instructor or a Pilates instructor. When I came here, I remember I applied at a Deep yoga studio for a job, and I ended up talking to Michael at the time, and it just shows the time of the, like, where we were at as a town at this period. And he said, unfortunately, I'm not busy enough. Like, it's too seasonal, and I don't have the work for another person to be here when we just, you know, it's the ebbs and flows of Port Douglas. And I was like, all right. So then I got a job in Cairns, and I started traveling every day to Cairns, teaching Pilates in Cairns. And then it got to a point where I was just obviously hating it, the commute back and forth. Yeah. And I rang Bethan, and I said to her, screw it, let's just do it here. And that day I remember going for a walk, and I stumbled across our Warner Street studio, the OGs know. And I just remember we looked at it, and I was like, fuck, it's cheap. Yeah. And like because we had no idea if it was going to work or not. Like we said, we had the dream, but you know, wanting something and actually being able to put it together are two very different things. So Bethan was like, well, I still have to finish this degree.
Yeah, so I was like just almost finished. I reckon I had like maybe 3 months left of studying. So I was like, Indy called me and she was like, I think we need to like do this now. It's like, you know, this is the perfect thing. I feel like it's good for us. And I was like, okay, let me like organize my life. So like, I think within 2 weeks I'd managed to convince my uni professor to let me do it online, like finish the course online. Drove down to Port. I didn't even have it's so funny, like thinking of this. When I got in the car to drive, if anybody lives in Port Douglas, you know what the accommodation is like. It is the most challenging thing to find a rental.
Full on.
I was living at Elise Bolero's house.
I remember getting in the car and I was on my way to Port Douglas. It's like a 3-day drive and I had nowhere to live when I arrived. But I was like,
we'll figure it out.
That is just like us, like we're just like it'll just work.
You stress me out.
I'd packed up my whole life, got driving in the car, and I literally didn't have a destination to go to. Indy was like living with one of our friends at the time. She was like, you could probably sleep like, you know, on my floor until we figure something out. I was like, cool. Got in the car, packed up, drove all the way there. Wow. And then it turned out to be a like really stressful 6 months, but then it all just kind of figured
wild.
itself
I ended up giving up my room at Elise's house to you.
Yeah.
And I literally was ping-ponging around the place.
Like, I'll be fine.
But honestly, like Beth said, it was stressful, but at the same time,
it was very formative. It was like,
I think you have to go through
things like that,
eras of your life like that, don't you? Just to build that resilience and go, well, if we did that, we'll be fine.
We actually have been through the shit with like places to live. Bethan lived in a 1-bedroom unit once, and I lived there with her. We shared a double bed.
That's hilarious.
It was a king bed, 2 dogs. It was a studio apartment. Let's just get this right.
And running a business together. Great.
But you know what? We
at the start we did that too. Like at the very start, we worked. This was our life, and we look very fondly back on this period of our life when we very first opened up first studio,
Yeah.
we worked at Choo Choo's together.
While we were running basement, we still worked at Choo Choo.
Yeah, so we were friends with the manager, Beck.
Wow.
Shout out, Beck.
Yeah,
and she would let
Love you,
us,
Beck.
she would let one of us work. So say like Indy would work on Choo Choo's on a Monday and I would work at the studio on a Monday.
Yeah.
We'd rotate. So I'd work at Choo Choo's Tuesday, she'd work, and then we'd just do that day in, day out until we just,
Wow.
you know.
Until we actually got to the point where we're like, fuck, this is a legit business. Like,
Yeah.
where
we're,
like, we can
Yeah.
pay
We're
ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah. Draw away.
And
I think
also-
I was like 3 years in. I was like, cool.
Yeah, right. But ours was like, it happened pretty quick. We just weren't willing to let it go because we were having so much fun. Like,
So
genuinely,
much fun,
so
yeah.
much fun. And then it got to like the financials were really good, and we were like
Yeah.
working at Choo Choo's for like $100. And we
Yeah.
were like, fuck are we doing?
Yeah, yeah.
probably
I think we
move
should
on.
probably,
And you know, we
invest
had
our time in the
we
business.
had like my stepdad. He's like been so amazing. But I remember him saying to us like, "What are you doing? You need to be working on your business. Why are
Yeah.
you working in someone else's business? You should be working on your business." And
But
we're
God,
like,
we had fun.
let
Yeah.
that down.
We're serving Katy Perry,
I was
working
just
at Choo
about to
Choo's.
say. Had that. Took that off the list.
But at the start and I feel like that's something that we could probably touch on. Like we live together, we work together, and before doing this, I feel like the narrative is when you start a business with your friends, it's like, oh, you know,
Be careful.
Be careful. It could change things,
Yeah.
and I feel like for us. Kind of sometimes, and this is speaking to the Choo Choo's thing, it kind of flips the opposite way. People were like, oh, it's going to affect your friendship, it's going to do this. If anything, for us, we'll be like, okay, let's meet and we'll do this, and then we'll meet and we'll do something completely different, and
Yeah.
we'll just like
Yeah.
book a trip or like
Yeah.
talk about stuff that's going on, and it's like,
But I think that also comes down to the people we are. Like
Totally.
we always say, like a lot of people always ask how it works, and we can so confidently say like we are very similar people, but we're also polar opposites.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
both completely have strengths that are completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we just play our roles. Like Bethan is like the queen of anything on a computer. Like she's so smart and like she's able to. Yeah, right. And I'm the once again ADHD. I will never be able to finish a task that involves me behind a computer.
The
Whereas,
socialite.
yeah, whereas like I will do like a lot of the face-to-face stuff, but that's like, you know, we just know that that's what works with one another. And like it's nice to know that if I ever tried to do this on my own, it would never have worked because I don't have what Bethan has, and Bethan doesn't have what I don't have, and we just know that together, that's right, we don't need to have it all,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And I think that's important, and that may be where people do go wrong, is like they think they do and they don't need this, you know,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
it's never...
and I also think to like speak to that is to be like, we don't take ourselves too seriously. You know what I mean? Like it's like if things go wrong, it's, you know, it's not
okay.
water off a duck's back, but it's like, okay, we can do that again next time a little bit better.
Yeah.
And we don't like and I think also that's kind of what our clients love about us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you would walk into one of our classes and you would never know that we're the owner because we're just not serious.
But I think that has been such a strong point of your business too, because the fitness world is already so daunting. Speaking from a person who, I grew up being quite active, but I was never like one to go to the gym or go, you know,
want
whatever.
approachable people.
You need to, like, going into that environment is already daunting enough. But then having these like two familiar faces who are just absolutely having a laugh and not taking themselves too seriously and having a go themselves and not, you know, standing there looking you up and down or anything like that. You're like, hey, come in. You're already covered in sweat. You've got the tunes going.
And
Like,
then
it's
that
just
just-
fun.
That
like,
just reverts back to like what we touched on first, is being that point of difference, that we are those people.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just the studio looks a certain way, we are a certain way.
yes.
And but like what Bethan said before, if you were to walk into, and I think it's happened to me countless amount of times, people are like, oh, you're the owner.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, like, and you're right, like, and I do believe that is why it has worked so well for us from the day dot, is we have just been completely who we are. And, you know, we are those sort of people that you can feel confident in front of, you can feel comfortable, we'll never judge, and that's why it does work so well, you know. I always, and I love this is probably my favourite part of the gym and the Pilates studio, when people leave our space, whether it's the gym or the Pilates studio, I always get text messages saying like, thank you. And, you know, and to me, like, it's not ever anything that's had to come anything but from like a natural like instinct. Like since I was little, it's actually funny. I asked my mum recently what you know, when you're younger and you say what you want to be? Yeah. I remember asking my mum what I wanted to be. Mum said I always wanted to like help people, but when I was younger, I used to set up like stations at the back of my house. We used to have like a basketball court at home. And I used to bring my friends over, charge them $10 and then make them do like literally a child. I used to charge my friends to come over and like do skipping, and I used to like yell at them to like run shuttle runs, like, and I would have been like 11. 11.
I used to do that with photo shoots. I'd make my friends model. I didn't charge them. But good business skills. I do admire that.
Yeah, but like, and then like, it's just so funny because then you look at what you do for a living.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I just think it's a natural progression of your personality, of what, you know, your interests and
it's
stuff.
Like, you know that thing that's like Maddie always knew what she was from a very early age. That was literally me commandoing other kids in my backyard like a child.
Yeah. You were born for this.
Right? Yeah. But then like I adapted into like, I've played sport my whole life. I was a captain of my footy team. I like, since I was young, I loved bringing people up. Yeah. And I think that's what makes the gym so amazing is that, you know, no matter who you are, no matter your work, like your fitness ability, this or that, you're going to come in here and you're going to feel that sense of like
community.
Yeah. And like, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
It just, I love it. I love it so much.
So you started off with a Pilates studio. Going into a whole gym, which is huge, by the way. This place is huge.
She's big.
With another, this is the one that moved, but then you've got another Pilates studio in Cairns. Yeah. Were you guys like going in with that same sort of blind optimism when you first opened your first studio with these ones, or were you like a bit, it was a bit scary?
A bit different.
Yeah.
I think the Cairns studio was scary for different reasons that this was scary. I feel like Cairns was scary because it was a whole new territory. I feel like what we do in Port Douglas is widely supported because we've got such a great group of clients that believe in us and that will, you know, if we open something else, they come and try it too.
It just goes back to the community.
Yeah. But so that was scary in that way. We knew that it was going to be a lot more hard work, which we were ready for at that point because we felt like we'd, you know...
We did what we needed to do.
Exactly.
Also probably more competition in Cairns.
Well, at that point, northern suburbs, not really, which is why we felt the need to do it. Yeah. Now there is a couple more studios in the northern suburbs. But,
which is healthy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. We love the competition.
Yeah. That's good.
We do. Yeah. No, I feel like it keeps things
exciting.
It pushes us to add new things and
absolutely.
Work a bit harder.
And speaking on that, because as I said, like coming into this environment, you do feel like a different, it's got a different energy. Like it's more fun. Like how do you guys stay inspired to keep making it fun and coming up with different, like I know that you guys do some challenges throughout the year. Do you still do those?
So with Pilates, do them.
We do a yearly challenge called Mayhem, which is like, it started as like kind of like a mid-year, like everyone starts to get into a bit of a slump. It's not quite high season just yet, but it's funny because obviously living here, seasons are reversed. So it's winter, but it's high season, whereas back in Adelaide, high season is like December. So I guess that kind of was born to like get people like they're ready
motivated
to come into that high season. But Indi runs challenges as well in the gym.
So it's not really as such like a challenge. It's more I program blocks. So it's just an opportunity for our members, clients to get a good gauge of where they're at. I am a very strong believer, and I'm very vocal about it, that you shouldn't be watching the scale to see your progression. This sort of training we train to create strong bodies, confident bodies. So the only way to really scale that is to see yourself getting stronger weight-wise and feeling fitter and getting quicker times and things like that. That's the purpose of what we train for in this gym. So when we create a 12-week block, the way it works is that Rain comes in. She's like, I want to do
Rain
blah,
does
blah,
not
blah, blah,
come
blah.
in 'cause she's hopeless and needs to get her butt in
Rain's
the gym.
off the wed shred. But, so like, yeah, Rain comes in and she says like, I want to get a bit stronger. I want to get a bit fitter. I want to get a bit quicker. Cool. She comes in on Tuesday. We test her lower back squat. And then for the next 12 weeks, we program with intent. So then for the next 12 weeks of training, we're targeting that specific muscle group. We're targeting that specific movement. 12 weeks time, Rain tests again. She has improved and she's lifting 10 kilos heavier than what she did 12 weeks ago. Now, if we didn't do that...
makes me want to come to the gym.
Yeah. Now, if we didn't do that training block, it's a little bit harder for Rain, not just Rain, I'm just using her as an example, but it's a little bit harder for her to see that progression because you're sort of thinking like, am I getting stronger? Am I getting this or that? Whereas, you know, the proof's in the pudding when you do something like that. And it's really, really important for our members to be able to see that their hard work's paying off. That's the whole purpose of the 12-week blocks. And people freaking love it, honestly. Yeah. Even our coaches, like, we froth it. Like, it's the whole thing of it. And, you know, this 12 weeks, we're actually up to week 11 this week. So next week is testing week. Ooh. And, you know, all the coaches are always hitting me up saying, like, wow, people are already breaking their records in the middle of a random class.
Amazing.
And it just shows how much the programming is working. So I think it just keeps people excited and it keeps, it just gives them something to look at that isn't a scale, you know?
Yeah.
It's, really important.
I also feel like you guys play into keeping your mental health healthy as well, not just the physical aspects of fitness.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you guys do in particular to sort of do that? Or maybe yourselves? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like which we probably could diversify on more. We always talk about things like this and like coming down to as far as resources, we don't actually have that here, but it's something we would love to do. We're really big on, obviously just, I know this like sounds so cliche, but I sort of said it before, but we have the space that, you know, it's not a frightening space, and when people come in here and when they walk out, they feel less heavy. Yeah. And that's a common thread that we always hear, whether it's a woman, whether it's a man, you know that there's always going to be someone in this class that's going to be like, hey mate, how are you?
Yes.
You know, and it's not really the depth of getting into the core of, you know, maybe asking, how are you really?
Yeah.
But it's the sort of space that you know that when you leave, you feel that little bit lighter. And like where days where you don't feel that great, you know you're always going to leave here feeling better. Yeah. But to touch on
that community of people too, like even if it's someone that doesn't have a massive social group, they know that, hey, on a Monday and a Wednesday and a Friday, I've got this group of people who, if I really need to, I can reach out to as well.
And as well, like the fact, like and this isn't even us, this is our members. You can always count on, there's a few specific people like Kat Weber, for an instance. Every Friday, she'll ask every single person in the room who wants to go for a coffee. You know, and like it sucks now that we're out in whoop whoop, but when we were in town, it was very common that people would do that. And I think that's what's so special about the gyms that are in town, is that it's a social thing that you go for a coffee after. And you know, that little coffee may just be a coffee to some people, but to touch on what you said, that one coffee can be someone's
life-changing
best social experience.
And we do see that a lot, which is like almost been our thing from the start, right? Like we wanted to do things a little bit differently. We wanted to like build a culture where people actually talk to each other when they come in. They know each other's names. We would know literally almost everything about like like our long-term clients that have been coming here from the start. Like they'll come in and it won't be, oh, how's your day? It'd be like, oh, is your husband back from work yet? Or how's your dog feeling after its surgery? Or literally like anything. Like it's and because they come through the door and we are asking those questions, they then ask those questions in themselves and how is
how is
it?
It creates conversation.
And it's not specifically like us sitting down and like running seminars on mental health or anything like that, but it's like our aim to just
create kindness and conversation. And I think that's the most powerful thing about fitness, whether it's the Pilates or it's the gym. Like the whole point of a community is for that sole purpose. Like that's why group training is group training. Exactly, if you go to a solo gym, on the odd occasion someone may be like, hey, and you're like, oh, hey, And, you know, whereas like when you're training in a community, in an environment like this, you know that's what you're going to get. And that's what makes it so special. And just to sort of reiterate what Bethan was saying just before, how we really have tried and put in the effort to get to know everyone very personally. If you look at the Christmas party we host, I feel like we were sort of one of the first we were sort of the first to do it. And you know what we find really exciting is everyone does it now.
Yeah.
And, you know, we say like, oh my God, it must be like, it's appealing to other people that run businesses because they're like, oh, that is cool. We should do that too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's just so, and it became a special thing that we do. And everyone used to always say to us, like, as if you do that. Yeah. But we're like, it's the one time that we can give back and say thank you
to the people who are, you know, choosing to spend their hard-earned dollars with us and help us.
Especially for someone that doesn't know what a basemas is, can you sort of give them an idea?
Yeah, I feel like it's really evolved over the last, our first ever basement. It's basically a Christmas party. We hold an annual Christmas party for our clients and our instructors and coaches. Our very first basements was a bit of a disaster. We tried to hire a space and then it just didn't work. So we ended up like just getting like 4 tables out the front of a pub and just like making it work. We all dressed up and got our nice dresses on. And we had about...
Had our cakes with nowhere to put them.
Yeah.
On the barrel.
There was like maybe 20, 30 people there, which was so special to us
and
at the time.
And we got like we thought it was epic.
Yeah,
we had 20, and most of you girls were like, I think some people that came weren't even coming to Pilates. They just came for a piss up.
Yeah.
And we got photos with everyone, and we were like, so awesome.
Yeah. And then the second year we did level up a bit. Was the second year Boathouse? Yeah. Second year, some of our friends they were wedding planners and they'd just gotten this new venue and they're like, oh girls, have your basements there, and that really leveled things up for us. They like did all the decorating and we had like maybe 100 people there.
There was a lot of people at that one,
and then this last one we held at the gym, and that it was just epic. We got like a dance floor in here.
No, it was like a wedding.
Yeah,
it really
literally.
was. We literally hired everything from the wedding hire place. We got dance floors, DJs,
fairy
lights.
lights.
We had it all.
Well, at least you got your own venue now.
Yeah,
so that's
totally.
good.
Except the power kept tripping. It was honestly a disaster. But we had a lot of fun.
So much fun. Yeah, it was so. We had these huge plans to do like trivia, and everyone was just having so much fun talking. We were like, let's get in trivia and just let everyone just party.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But I think as well that just to like rabbit hole back, that just comes down to like, and it's something that we should be more proud of.
Yeah, totally.
Is the community that we've created. Yeah. You know, it's not just, you know, you come in here, you leave here. Yeah. It's like, the place that creates conversation. And like we've seen so many friendships and relationships form through just conversation here. And that's like, we always like will say if like me and you met each other here and we like, and Bethan seen us hanging out, we'd screenshot and send it to each other and be like, oh my God, look at this. Like wow, this,
set that up.
but like, it's like the most proud feeling. It's like, it feels like one of your children have like gone and done something so incredible. And it's like, without this, that doesn't happen.
No, exactly.
And it's just...
And you provide that, like, as I said before, but on another, you know, if anyone new to town too, like that's your ticket to like, hey, you want to meet people, go to basement. It's so welcoming. Everyone knows each other. You'll find someone that you gel with. Just go and have some fun.
And do you want to know something so crazy? I remember 2 Christmases ago, I was in Adelaide with my girlfriend Eliza, and we just had merch made. And my girlfriend Eliza, I don't know if she was wearing a basement shirt or I feel like she was having a conversation with the shop assistant. I was around the corner and I heard one of them be like, oh my God, is that basement Pilates in Port Douglas? And I was like, and I was sort of sitting behind the rack and I'm like looking like, the fuck? Yeah. And she goes, that's so cool. I really want to go there. If I ever visit Port Douglas, I'm going to go to basement.
That is incredible.
And I remember I was behind the thing and I was almost crying. I was like, what the hell? Like up here, it's kind of like, you know, and it happened to Hannah once as well. Do you have your water bottle with a sticker on it?
Nah.
We got these little stickers made, and Hannah had it on her front green, and she was working in Broken Hill at the hospital, and this girl was like, oh, like, do you go to Basement Pilates in Port Douglas? And Hannah was like, yeah, my best friends own it. And it's funny because we always joke that like Hannah's like
Hannah's the third official one.
Yeah,
Oh,
she should be sitting here today.
She's there
Absolutely.
for every event unofficially behind the scenes.
When we opened the Cairns studio, there was videographers and photographers there, and it honestly looked like Hannah was the third girl.
yeah.
And recently, Eliza again called me, and she was like, "Hey, weird one, but does Hannah have anything to do with the ownership of Basement?" And I was like, "No, why?"
one fan.
And she goes, "Oh, someone just flagged it with me the other day because you guys uploaded a photo saying like." The women that keep it all
yeah,
together.
yeah.
And Hannah was
Hannah was in the photo, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's just
Shout
Hannah.
out to
Just
Hannah.
Hannah.
She's just like the most
Even-
wonderful supporter.
Seriously, even when we very first started, we were in this muggy little shed in Warner Street,
Yeah.
and she was there putting the machines together. Like,
Oh, hardly. She was there for emotional support. I think she painted the desk once. But she was there every single day.
But
she was
good
there every
value
single day.
regardless.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask, how many members do you guys have now?
Maybe like 250.
Yeah, between like Cairns and
Yeah.
Port, yeah.
Maybe 250. But do you want to know what's so wild is obviously that's a lot of people, and we are so proud of that.
Yeah.
But we were in Sydney on the weekend, and we were talking to the owner of a gym there, and he was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, we've got 1,300 members. And I looked at Bethan and I was like,
Also, I think the population of
Yeah,
Port
right.
Douglas is
No,
about
totally.
4,000
Yeah.
people.
That's
so
actually-
This is actually like unfolding right in front of us, things that we do, and
Yeah.
we need to like, we've actually never, like, when these big things happen to us and we like,
we forget to celebrate.
we forget to
Yeah.
celebrate. We always say like, oh yeah, well, let's go. Like every Christmas party we've said, let's go have a drink beforehand, just you
Oh,
and me,
yes.
and sit down and just talk about it. It never happens, and
Chaos.
we really do
Yeah. Even
need
when
to
we
make more time for
Yeah.
like just being proud of ourselves.
But 250 people, that's like the same as the primary school.
I think that just like comes down to like you forget the scale of like where we live,
Yeah.
and it's pretty incredible
Yeah.
the fact that if you do the numbers of like population to
Yeah.
members, and like you said, that was actually what I said to the bloke when he
Yeah.
said it. He was like, we've got 1,300, and I was like, huh, we've got. And then he said, he was like,
He said,
yeah,
but you're
and
in
you
Port
live in Port
Douglas.
Douglas.
Yeah,
And
which
we
is
were-
amazing because every second, well, okay, that's probably not true, the math, but
Every second person.
it feels like every second person you chat to
Yeah.
has some sort of association, whether it be they come or their
Yeah.
husband or wife comes, or
It probably
their-
would be
you
every- it
know,
probably would
like,
be every
it's-
second
It's
person.
awesome because
Yeah.
most people that you chat to, hopefully, if you're not living under a rock, you obviously have heard of Basement, but yeah, it's wonderful.
Do you remember when Roy, she owns Toast, she was saying that everyone at the hospital once was saying, I feel like we need to go to Basement, like it's like a cult, and like I feel like we're not a part of it. And Roy was like, yeah, you have to come to Basement.
I come to Basement.
So you have about 250 clients. So how many staff do you have to run all of these classes?
Well, in the Pilates studio, so we have 5 instructors in our Port studio and 10 instructors in Cairns.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've got a big group of instructors,
Yeah.
and they are so great.
Yeah.
They
So
are what makes
How do you
Basement.
go managing so many staff as well? Because like,
That's honestly the hardest part.
Yeah.
Love them so much, but it is really the hardest part. Like, obviously, life comes up, and also for instructors and coaches, it's
Not their primary job.
yeah,
Yes.
like sometimes life just gets in the way, and
Yeah.
it's like obviously.
yeah.
And also Port Douglas is very transient, so people come in and out a lot. It's been our biggest struggle finding now what we have as a core team, because people are so in and out, and obviously takes us a long time to
Train people.
Yeah,
train
of
people to
course.
teach the kind of class that we want our clients to experience. So
Yeah.
up until like maybe last year, Port Douglas was like just me and Indi pretty much.
Yeah.
Like we would take majority of the classes because we
We didn't have the manpower.
we just couldn't find the right people. But now I feel like this past year we've really solidified
Yeah.
such a great team
Yeah.
in both locations,
Yeah.
which has been life changing.
And we had an instructor, Elmi.
Yeah, shout out Elmi.
She was fantastic, and
Yeah.
when we lost her, we took a big blow
Yeah.
because she was always wanting to work. She loved working. She taught
Yeah.
exactly because she was we taught her from the beginning all the way through.
Yeah.
So she taught exactly the same way.
She lives in Early Beach, by the way.
Yeah.
She hasn't passed away.
She's actually opening her own
Do you know what it's called?
studio. No, I'm not sure, but yeah, she is opening her own, which is just fantastic for her because she was such.
She's she's going to do very well.
Yeah.
But also like, it was beautiful because Elmi was always saying like, you know, she looked up to the way Beth and I ran things, and you know, it's nice for us because we've got people like that in our life too. Like, there's a girl that I'm good friends with. Her name is Lisa, and we call her Geds. Anyway, she owns the gym back home where we used to train. And she was like, I idolized her so much. I still do idolize her so much as a business person, like in the way she trains, the way she holds herself, her beliefs, everything like that. And to think that, you know, someone looked at us the way that we look at her. Yeah. And it's like, wow, isn't it just so funny, the cycle of something like that. But and then over in the gym, I've got Michelle and Jamie. Yep. And they're absolutely incredible, literally absolutely incredible. We all have a very different coaching style, which is a little bit different to Pilates. So Pilates is very much so we all sort of come under the same banner. Obviously, we have our own like teaching techniques and cues and this and that. We follow a very similar class flow. We like our classes to be, you know what you're going to get when you come into a basement Pilates class. Yeah. Whereas at the gym, I think it's a lot easier for a coach to have a little bit more of a different approach in the way that they coach people. Yeah. And we've definitely got the diversification in here. Michelle is such a hard nut. Like, she is really...
Nothing gets past Michelle.
Nothing gets past Michelle, yeah. She's like... and like, people know when they book into a Michelle class...
They're going to work hard.
That's right. They know,
but that's good because you've got different people with different goals and what they want out of a class.
Yeah, and like, it's just nice. Like, you know... Someone said once, wouldn't it be great if you could just have 10 you? And I was like, fuck no. Yeah. No one wants that. No one would ever want that. You can't, like, even when, like Bethan mentioned before, was when her and I were doing all the classes, it almost feels stale sometimes when it's just, not stale, but like, you know, people aren't always going to love you, and they're not always going to love Beth, and they're not going to love us. And then you throw in, you've got like Sol, she's amazing, Kiana, we've got...
Yeah, and they're all so different. Like, so, like just like Indy was saying about the gym instructors, the Pilates is the exact same. Like, Sol is she comes from a clinical background, so she's very clinical. Kiana loves yoga, so she's like putting yoga in. It's like, across the board, across the gym and the Pilates studio, diversification of the classes are like the most important thing. Yeah. And it's so good.
Yeah. And then just to give Jamie
some flowers.
Yeah, she is only new to the fitness scene as far as a coach goes, but fitness has been her whole life for a long time. She was a professional netballer, freaking great footballer, great sports person.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, you should watch her play sport. She is incredible.
And you can really tell.
Yeah,
she's so
and you know what?
She played footy.
What became very special with Jamie, and I feel like she'll get very emotional listening to this, and this is something that we find that we hold very close to our heart, is this is Jamie's first sort of career and like her own walk outside of being a mum. And it's so funny because to us, like, this is so normal, this is our business, this is just so, and then to have Jamie be so vocal that like this has given her something else. And obviously she loves being a mum, it's the most amazing and important thing to her, but then this has just created a whole nother life for her that she is so good at, that she is so passionate about, and it's like a walk that's something for herself. And it's just like, it's just amazing to see that that's created something for someone, you know.
Go strong women and go strong mums.
Isn't that great?
So
Fucking honestly.
So cool. Oh, you should have see me watching the Matildas last night. I was crying. Every time my friend Winnie goes on the screen, I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God,
she's going to come on when she's home.
Yeah, come on, Winnie. Winnie trains here when she's here. And actually, funnily enough, she was in a class once, and there were a heap of boys in the class, and they're very fit. Winnie kicked their freaking ass, literally kicked their ass. And I remember one of the boys, Bill, running in, and he was like, "Who is that girl?"
Like, I'm so funny. She must get annoyed with me because I've gone from being someone that doesn't watch sport whatsoever
To being
at
so
all,
like,
and to the point where I had my phone at the pub last night. I was like, no one talk to me. I'm watching Winnie, and I would send her like. No, but I like send her screenshots of her on the TV, or if I'm at home, I take photos of the TV, or I record stuff, and they're like, Winnie, Heatley's got the ball, and I'm like sobbing in the background.
We all need to be
like, Rain, fuck off.
Wait, I can watch the replay.
Just like, stop it.
We all need friends like that.
But yes, I just you telling that story about Jamie is just awesome because
it's so special,
just so
right?
cool watching someone else live out things that really make them tick.
And like her like discovering a dream that she didn't even know she had. It's so awesome, and she does it really well as well.
Well, that's a testament to you guys and the space that you guys have created.
We love our team. It's like the most.
We couldn't do it without them.
Literally.
Yeah, we literally couldn't.
Please don't leave us.
Speaking of team, that kind of extends to your partners as well, I suppose. Yeah.
We're very, very lucky. So have to acknowledge this. When we first got the gym, my partner Tommy was living in Adelaide still, and Bethan's partner works away, and he was away where was he? Oh,
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, just in the middle of nowhere. And we came and had a look at it, and we got it. And then the real estate were like, the commercial real estate were like, you need to start paying rent, blah, 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 blah. And we were like, we need to do a big fit out. And they're like, you've got 4 weeks. And we were like, And we just booked a trip to Bali in 3 weeks. And Bethan and I were like,
this thing blew my mind.
Yeah, and we were like, do we still go on our trip? Oh, and also 2 weeks into that, we were also going to Brisbane for Drake.
Yeah, we had 2 holidays pre-booked, but we are just like, and the boy, it's so funny because we are like, we'll be able to do that.
The boys were like, will you be able to do that?
Like, they're very logistic. They're like, okay, girls, but what's the plan? And we're like, it'll be fine. We're just
and also knowing that we say that they're the ones that are going to be doing
100%. They worked in here day and night.
Reef, seriously, Reef was here every freaking day. But you know the funny thing was, and actually Marley came. A lot of people. We have a lot of people.
But again, community.
Crystal and Shannon, they were here every single day. And then I remember, Reef, he just called past one day and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, we got the gym and he's like, sick. We used to have
came in here, demolished everything with us from literally day one
to the last day.
Helping.
What about when he drove me? He drove me to Kent. So when we were building the Pilates studio, it wasn't existent. We were building the studio, and we were like, this is how not organized we are. I was like, fuck, we go to Bali in 4 days or something, like a week. I was like, we go to Bali in a week and then we open 2 days after that. So we've got a week and 2 days to do everything.
He's having a heart attack.
Yeah, and I remember ringing Reef and I'm like, I need to get to Cairns to get all these timber to build the studio. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, well, can you take me? And he's like, yeah, all right. I'll have to go after work, but I'm like, what day? And he's like, Friday. And I'm like, cool. That gives Harvey 2 days to build it.
Yeah,
easy done. And I remember Reef and I hooning down to Cairns and back.
I remember a video being sent from Indy, and the two of them are bickering like brother and sister.
Yeah.
Indy and my brother bicker more than me and my own brother bicker. But it's hilarious because they're like twins, and our mums essentially, like, Indy's like another sibling.
Yeah, I could be Indiana Ward at this going, right?
We got there in the end.
Yeah.
The boys are doing, exactly. Shout out to those boys.
They are
because
our voices.
They do just get in.
They are voices of reason. They come
done.
up with most of the work and the plan. We couldn't do this without them either.
And even like the Tommy, he's a Sparky, but before he was a Sparky, he was a Jip rocker. And he swore. He swore. Actually, he's gonna hate that I've said this because once he did the studio, people were hitting him up to help, and he was like, "There's a reason I'm not a Jip rocker anymore, and I'm a fucking Sparky." He's like, "It's the worst job ever." But you know what? And it just is a testament to who both our partners are as people. They were here at 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. every night leading up to that holiday. And I remember we went on the holiday with the boys and we were like, holiday. And they were like, what the fuck, girls? We have 2 days from the night we land back in Port Douglas. We have 2 days till you open. And we were like, it'll come together. And, you know, that's just, once again, us as people.
Yeah.
And then, from that night we landed, Skinny, Bethan's partner, was in there doing the floors. We were painting the walls. You know, we were here
Brent's family also came and helped a lot. So shout
there
out
was
to
like,
them.
there were literally like all hands on decks. And 9 o'clock the night before we opened, we were
ready.
like, we did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
And, you know, we did that at our Cairns opening too.
Yeah, it's always very
night
last
before.
minute for us,
Yeah.
but we just get it done.
And it works.
And it works.
And we're not
Seriously.
promoting not being organised. Once again, it just works for us. And I think, the messaging behind that is like, we're just not...
Trust your gut.
And
Yeah.
like, don't be so serious all
And
the
you
time.
don't, something doesn't have to be perfect for it to
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
You
I
can-
say this all the time.
Yeah.
Just start, make it better
That's
later.
just start.
Yeah.
That is actually, even
Yeah.
like, that's a put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I know. I've been thinking about it.
I'll
Put
buy
on a
it.
hat.
Seriously,
Yeah.
just
Just
start.
start.
But it's like that with
Yeah.
anything in life, right? Not
Yeah.
just business, but
Yeah.
like the gym, Pilates, or like, it doesn't even have to be that. Go for a walk. Like,
Yes.
just start.
Just do something and then make it better later.
Take
Yeah.
that step. Like, just start. I
Yeah.
love that.
It's probably a great place to wrap up, actually.
Just
Yeah.
start.
Is there any other advice that you could give people, whether it be starting a business or getting into fitness, or is there anything you want to end on?
Don't be afraid of taking that partnership with a friend. Even people are afraid of a husband and wife duo. Like, I think it can be messy, the thought and the perception of two people working together. But don't be afraid of that.
You got to trust your gut.
Yeah.
And, just trust your intuition. If you think something's going to work, just go for it. Don't let anyone
That
tell
happened.
you-
That actually happened to us in the. Sorry, I know we're wrapping it up.
You're
But
right.
when we were first vocalizing to our friends that we were going to open a studio and we were going to, you know, we had such big dreams, and like I always believe, like, if you say you're going to do something, like, there is nothing stopping you. Like, I truly am so passionate about that too. Like, you are capable of anything. And I'm just, I'm a big believer in literally anything. Almost ridiculous sometimes. But we were like, we're backing ourselves in on this. When we started telling our friends, so many friends were like,
Oh, I don't think you should do that.
like, do you know how much hard work is involved in that? Do you know the risks? And we were like, shut up.
Nothing cool
Like-
ever comes out of sitting back and going,
No, and
"Oh,
like-
it might not work."
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
what do you
gotta
want to
trust
kick back
yourself.
and
Go.
kick back and be the run of the mill? No, thank you.
Yeah,
No, like,
exactly.
and look,
You have to have a bit of insanity to...
risk is better
Yeah.
than regret.
Yes.
That is the best saying. That's actually my phone screen. I've got it printed
Yeah.
on my vision boards. Risk will always triumph regret.
Yeah.
You would rather risk everything than regret not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another good quote to finish on is
It's
success
okay.
without fulfillment is failure.
Yeah.
You have to be fulfilled to be successful.
successful.
So just do whatever you love and make a career out of it.
Like you do. Seriously, look at this.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you right now are making my heart fulfilled, so that's very nice. So for people who are looking for you, where can they find you? If they want to join in, join up,
Join up, sign up.
Anything.
We have got an app. It's called Basement Pilates. That also falls under the banner of the gym as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we've got our website, just basementpilates.com.au.
Yeah,
And
Instagram, Basement Pilates Studio, and Basement Fitness.
Fantastic. Oh, well, thank you so much for letting
for
me
coming.
record in your fabulous gym today.
First one
Anytime.
outside of makeup.
It is my first one out of the booth, but I feel very inspired, and I do feel like I need to get off my butt and come back. I used to do Pilates, but I just have been stuck the last couple of years. But I'm
We're
I'm
back
getting
on the
there.
grind.
I just
We're back on.
had to start a podcast and get a business sorted. And
We're good to go.
And get married.
yeah, just a few things, but yeah, no. But thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We will have another episode very soon. And please, if you're looking for a very amazing space to come and meet a cool community or just make yourself feel a bit better, just please get in touch with the Basement Girls.
We'd love to see you.
Yeah. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.